Chiefs, Bills. Which Bills team do we see? Which Chiefs team do we see? They're both coming off big losses this week. One lost to the Titans, the other's lost to the Raiders. If you remember last week, I'm going to toot my own horn here against the Raiders. One of the things we were watching for last week with the Raiders game is what they can do with Henry Ruggs back in their lineup. I mentioned they were undefeated with Ruggs in their lineup. They're still undefeated with Ruggs in the lineup because he changes their offense so much. Now, why am I bringing up the Raiders? Because, A, I don't miss an opportunity to ever bring up the Raiders. But the Bills field stretcher, and Jeff's going to probably bring this in too, Smokey Brown missed the game against the Titans. He changes that offense, not being able to stretch. Gabriel Davis is fantastic. Stephon Diggs is fantastic. Cole Beasley serves his purpose. John Brown is a guy who stretches the field for the Bills. And much like Ruggs, if he's not in the lineup, that Bills offense changes drastically. Now, on the flip side, another field stretcher, Sammy Watkins, is also not going to be playing for the Chiefs. So you've got two of the, and again, Calvin, you know me, never Sammy. So it doesn't really, I really don't care. But those are two big bodies that are missing out of both teams' lineups, especially in the offensive game, and how they work that offense, because the Chiefs' offense is not quite the same without Sammy Watkins, much like the Bills not the same without Smokey Brown. Jeff.
Yeah, I agree. And this is another one of those weeks where everyone's going to wonder, is it a Mecole Hardman game now because Sammy's out? Could be, couldn't be. Who knows? The good thing for the Bills is Tre'Davious White is likely back, so that'll help them. On Buffalo's side, I'm not expecting John Brown to play. There's a video that popped up Wednesday where he caught a pass in practice right in the end zone and then started limping off. So I wouldn't be surprised if he misses at least one more week. So that's going to hurt him. I agree with you on that one.
Calvin, what are you looking for in this game?
Well, last week we called the Chiefs a slump buster for Josh Jacobs, and that worked out pretty well. He did well on the ground. I think Devin Singletary, he's another guy probably in need of a slump buster, and he get the Chiefs to show up. I think that could be a really good thing for him. I also said one of the things I'm going to be watching for in the game last week is, does Mecole Hardman out-snap Sammy Watkins and Demarcus Robinson? And he did. He had the second most snaps on the team at wide receiver. I really like to see that. He needed to be on the field more. If he's on the field, he's the kind of guy that I think is a playmaker and can make plays. So even though Buffalo kind of comes across as being a scary matchup, they really haven't been that scary of a matchup. So I think Mecole Hardman could be a good play. I think Travis Kelce is going to have a huge game. I don't care what his price is on DraftKings. He's the tight end that you're going for. Buffalo's been god awful. Maybe the Saints are the only team that have been worse against the tight end this year. He's smash play. You're definitely getting him in there. Real quick note. So the Chiefs have actually allowed the second least amount of receptions to wide receivers. That's completely counterintuitive. They're a team that has played with the lead a lot this year, and you expect them to be passed on a lot. They just have not. Teams have been able to run the ball, been able to run it effectively, and their secondary has been very good. So, yeah, I think Stephon Diggs probably draws a little bit more coverage with John Brown out, and I would even lower my expectations for him.
Well, the Raiders exposed the pass defense there last week, but that's because they had a field stretcher. And I think that's going to be the key. And like I said, Chiefs side of the ball, they've got multiple field stretchers out there. And I don't know if the Tre'Davious White will make a big difference with Tyreek Hill. I don't think you're going to see Tre'Davious White on Tyreek Hill in any way, shape, or form. You're probably going to see him with Mecole Hardman. So that'll be an interesting matchup. Tyreek Hill's more of that slot guy, two-way go. I don't know how you're going to – I still see it, the Bills. If Josh Allen could throw for 4 touchdowns in this game and get himself back into that MVP race, because I had him and Russell Wilson neck and neck until last week happened, and now it's Russell Wilson one step further, Mahomes at 2, Josh Allen at 3, so we'll see what's going on. But one of the things here that Eden's talking about here is Le'Veon Bell to the Chiefs. We touched on this a little bit earlier. It's a distinct possibility. I want to see it because I personally like to watch everything burn. That's my prerogative. I enjoy chaos. I have like 9 kids under 12 under my roof right now. So you know what? The more chaos, the better. I'm comfortable. Some people were live in the chaos. I was born into it. So we'll kind of go with that. Clyde Edwards-Helaire, this matchup, I don't like it for him. You're talking about you traded for Clyde Edwards-Helaire and how that's going to affect with Le'Veon Bell possibly going. But I'm not a big fan of if Le'Veon Bell ends up with the Chiefs. I think that's going to hurt Edwards-Helaire because his biggest addition is in the passing game, because I'm pretty confident I could catch Edwards-Helaire from behind, and I've got like 2 bad hips and 2 bad knees to work with. But honestly, Bell's got more talent than Edwards-Helaire, in my opinion, even at this stage in his career. Yeah, I said it. You just worry about your Saints and your LSU Tigers stuff in the background. Now, saying all this, I'm completely biased and I hate Clyde Edwards-Helaire. I'll be honest about it. I hate LSU players. That's another general thing. Jamarcus Russell wrecked it for all of them. But yeah, if Bell ends up in the Chiefs, that is an ugly, ugly thing for both Bell and Edwards-Helaire. Great for the Chiefs. They get more weapons, but horrible for fantasy.
Yeah, totally. And I'll just add there, it kills Bell's value. I think there's this excitement over the Chiefs. So if you can capitalize on that and sell Le'Veon Bell, this is an opportunity to do so. Depending on what you can get. But I mean, like, I think he would almost lose all of his value going to that team. And I wonder if he would even do it, because one of the things he said is he's interested in what his role would be. And I don't think he can trust that he's going to have a big role with the Chiefs. No matter what Andy Reid, I guess, the sweet nothings he would whisper into his ear. One of the things that frustrated me last week, Andy Reid does this every now and then where he just outsmarts himself. The Raiders were terrible against the run. He starts off, first 2 carries for Clyde Edwards-Helaire, he gets like 28 yards. He only rushes 8 more times for the whole rest of the game. What in the world was he thinking? And all he had to do was keep turning around, handing the ball off. I bet if he had a redo, he would double Clyde Edwards-Helaire's carries. And probably if they do, they win that game.
Yeah, no, they don't.